Whoa, hit the brakes. You've arrived at the #1 drive-by for American history. Welcome to The Pit Stop. Brought to you by In the Past Lane, the podcast about history and why it matters. Here's Edward T. O'Donnell, your host and historian at large.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Pit Stop, your Monday morning source for history on the go in just about 5 minutes. We offer this mini-feature every Monday, in addition to our regular full-feature episodes. Okay, here's what happened in American history the week of April 30th through May 6th. Let's begin with birthdays. May 2nd is the birthday of Dr. Benjamin Spock, who was born in New Haven, Connecticut in 1903. He wrote the book Baby and Child Care, published in 1946, and it went on to become the best-selling book on baby care in American history. His message to American mothers was, "You know more than you think you do." May 3rd is the birthday of Jacob Riis, who was born in Denmark in 1889. Jacob Riis wrote one of the most important books in American history, How the Other Half Lives, which was published in 1890. This book was an expose of the terrible housing conditions in New York City and their negative impact on public health and the lives of the poor immigrant masses. Riis wrote, "In the tenements all the influences make for evil, because they are the hotbeds of epidemics that carry death to rich and poor alike, the nurseries of pauperism and crime that fill our jails and police courts. They touch the family life with deadly moral contagion." Jacob Riis's book inspired major reforms in urban housing. May 3rd, 1919, that's the birthday of folk singer and social activist Pete Seeger, who was born in Paterson, New York. His most famous songs were Where Have All the Flowers Gone and We Shall Overcome. May 4th is the birthday of Horace Mann, who was born in Franklin, Massachusetts in 1796. Horace Mann is considered the father of public education because he successfully promoted the idea that in order for the American Republic to endure and thrive, it must provide a free, quality public education for all. Education, said Horace Mann, is the great equalizer of the conditions of men, the balance wheel of the social machinery. May 4th is also the birthday of Jane Jacobs, who was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania in 1916. Her landmark book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, was published in 1961. And this book was both a harsh critique of urban renewal and a call for city planning to focus on the needs of people. Jacobs wrote, "There is no logic that can be superimposed on the city. People make it, and it is to them, not buildings, that we must fit our plans." May 5th, 1864, is the birthday of investigative journalist Nellie Bly, who was born in Cochran's Mills, Pennsylvania. May 6th, that's the birthday of Martin Delany, who was born in Charlestown, West Virginia in 1812. Delany was a prominent African-American abolitionist, journalist, and doctor. And after the Civil War, he emerged as one of the first proponents of black nationalism, which also included a call for African Americans to return to Africa. "I am not in favor of caste or separation of the brotherhood of mankind, and would as willingly live among white men as black, if I had equal possession and enjoyment of privileges, but I shall never be reconciled to living among them subservient to their will." All right, what events happened this week? April 30th, 1789, that's when the first presidential inauguration took place. George Washington took the oath of office in New York City at Federal Hall on Wall Street before a crowd of thousands. April 30th, 1975, South Vietnam fell to the forces of North Vietnam, marking the unofficial end of the Vietnam War. For Americans, this moment is captured in the photograph of people boarding a helicopter on the roof of the American Embassy in Saigon. If you want to learn more about Vietnam, I suggest you check out In the Past Lane episode 39, featuring my interview with Ken Burns about his documentary on the Vietnam War. May 1st, 1952, that's when the Hasbro toy company released Mr. Potato Head at a whopping cost of 98 cents. And if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you know that Mr. Potato Head holds a special place in my heart. May 1st, 1960, the Soviet Union shot down an American U-2 spy plane. This incident was a major embarrassment for the Eisenhower administration. At first, they tried to cover up the fact that it was a spy plane. But that failed when the Soviets produced the pilot, Gary Powers, who had survived the crash. Powers was held in the Soviet Union for nearly 2 years before being returned to the U.S. in a spy exchange. May 4th, 1886, that's the anniversary of the Haymarket bombing in Chicago. In that incident, a bomb was thrown into the ranks of Chicago policemen who were breaking up a labor rally. 7 policemen were killed, and the incident was blamed on anarchists, touching off the first Red Scare in American history. May 4th is also the anniversary of the 1970 Kent State Massacre. On that day, Ohio National Guardsmen opened fire on an anti-war protest at Kent State University in Ohio, killing 4 students and injuring 9. And on May 6, 1937, the German Zeppelin Hindenburg exploded over Lakehurst, New Jersey, killing 36 people. This tragedy was made famous by the NBC reporter Herbert Morrison, who was on hand to broadcast the event live. Overcome by emotion at what he was seeing and describing, Morrison famously said, "Oh, the humanity." All right, time for the last word. Let's give it to George Washington and the closing lines of that first inaugural address. "I shall take my present leave, but not without resorting once more to the benign parent of the human race, in humble supplication that since he has been pleased to favor the American people with opportunities for deliberating in perfect tranquility, and dispositions for deciding with unparalleled unanimity on a form of government, for the security of their union and the advancement of their happiness, so his divine blessing may be equally conspicuous in the enlarged views, the temperate consultations, and the wise measures on which the success of this government must depend." Okay, people, that's your history fix for the week. Now put it in drive and go make your own history.